The great secret to life. This is, you know, I just want to give myself a little bit of credibility. I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself a scholar, but I have a little bit. I'm an ordained Orthodox rabbi. I've written about 20 books, translated, written on Jewish mysticism. So, at least I know what I don't know. That's also a step. Um, and certainly I've dabbled in science, psychology, philosophy, um, quantum physics. So those are areas. By no means an expert, but at least I know something. So also I know a little bit about other religions. I've also had an interest. I have a lady. She's actually a psychiatrist, internist, very clever lady, a bit of a student of mine, and she was a former Buddhist. So I asked her. So I know a bit about their faith or their belief system. And I can honestly say that there's not one belief system that has the depth, the incredible, I don't know what the right word is, but the symbiotic relationship, I'm trying to remember the word, not the confluence, but almost like the combination, in a way, the cooperation. You'll figure out what I'm saying in a minute. The mutual kind of compatibility of the physical and the spiritual. And this is really the whole quest of humanity. Because some people, in fact, in a way, I think it's fair to say almost all people, are seeking to be happy. There's no question, there's nobody in this planet that doesn't want to be happy. Certainly nobody wants to be miserable. So the question, of course, is how to be happy. And I don't know a single wisdom that can tell you practically, not like, oh, if you do this, then you'll go to Muhammad's brothel, or if you do this, you get to hang out with God in heaven. We're talking about a body of wisdom that says if you do this, you'll be happy now. And the guarantee is now, not tomorrow, now. I actually just met a psychologist, an older lady, and I said, so from everything in psychology, is there anything that you can share with me? She says, nothing. Those psychologists that I know, they'll honestly say they learned nothing practical in psychology. Nothing. And I'm talking about, I have a friend who has a PhD in experimental psychology, and he said that he would tell his, kind of colleagues, based on the facts, what you're doing doesn't matter, because the facts show, it's very well known, that there's not a single field of psychology that matters. Basically, all that matters is the respect and the relationship between the two individuals. And you don't need to be a psychologist to respect another person and to care about them. Every human being should do that. And that's what God tells us. Love your friend as yourself. Care about him. Help him. And that's all that people need to be better. As Maury Schwartz, who was a very bright guy, Tuesdays with Maury, he spent 6 years in a mental ward, not more like a researcher. So basically people are looking for unconditional love. So I'm not trying to put down psychology, and I'm sure that there's a place for it, but I'm just trying to bring out that in terms of a mechanism to make people happy, it definitely has not. The society that has the most psychologists, the most therapists, is the ones that are most in need of them. So there's only one body of wisdom that I can absolutely guarantee you, I'm willing literally right now to make $1,000 bet that if you do what I'm going to say just in this video, if you actually practice it, you will be a very happy person. And that, of course, is God's wisdom. And God has come to us people. We are like characters in a video game. And the guy who made the game is your own parent. Imagine you have a parent that made you, put you in a universe, but you can't see him. So obviously he wants you to be happy. He wants you to succeed in this game. Now, many of us know about the Bible, and the basic premise of the Bible, which already would make you happy, but it's important to understand the basic premise, not to get sidetracked, is goodness and kindness. And there's no question about it that any human being, that would practice in a very real way, dedicate their life to goodness and kindness, they will be happy. Most of our issues is because we're self-absorbed. And how are you going to be happy? Because whatever you have, you want more. But if you are other-absorbed, a lady just asked me today, I sent her a picture of a baby for whatever reason. She says, I don't know how these Orthodox Jews do it. They have so many children. How do they do it? And so I said to her, it's an interesting thing, and she concurred, that when people actually have more children, they're happier. Now, does it take more money and more effort? Yes. So why are they happier? Because happiness comes from positive achievements. So the more positive achievements you can show for yourself, the happier you're going to become. Today I visited a couple of people in a nursing home, and it's very obvious that the ones that had children, and the more children, are the more proud they are of themselves. Oh, my children, my grandchildren, my blah, blah, blah. The point is that they have what to show for their lives. And this is very important because we're raising a generation with basically antagonism towards having children. It's insanity. And what are these people going to be able to show? What can they show? What are they going to show? Take anybody that's brought up, let's say, with the radical left ideology. So let's say they're not going to get married. If they're super kind, they'll adopt a child from Haiti. And maybe they'll support some kind of left-wing radical LGBT whatever group. But what are you going to show for your own life? and the notion, studies show actually conservatives give more charity than the left. And the reason I'm saying this is not even like they're doing so much good in terms of really helping the world. So what are you going to show for your life? Because in the end of the day, we all, hopefully the Mashiach will come and save us, we'll live forever, but we all end up either in a nursing home or dead. But actually our consciousness, our memory of what we've done, Einstein said, nothing is forgotten. There is no energy in this world that disappears. So your consciousness remains forever. All you have is basically, as a line that I recently said, it doesn't matter how you live, it matters how you lived. All you're going to have is the memory of how you lived. What did you actually achieve? What good did you do? How many people did you help? It's really that simple. Now, basically, it's a very big subject, but I just want to give you the essence of the subject, is that everything boils down to two factors. We have a spiritual life and we have a physical life. If you engage in both of those, because you can't be happy if you're hungry, you have to have the basic necessities as per Maslow's hierarchy. But beyond that, and this is the critical factor, your life has to be spiritual. The reason you do what you do must be to help others. And I'm not even going into a lot of details, etc., etc. All I want to say to you is that basically, to the best of my knowledge, the only philosophy which is kind of exclusively about goodness and kindness, and says that that is what God wants from you. He's looking for you. Like, I'm a parent. What do I want more? That you should help me, or that you should help my child? My child. So therefore, if you just do this, but you have to dedicate your life to this has to be your goal, then everything else, obviously you have to be responsible in life, and then you can be happy physically, you can be happy spiritually, mentally, emotionally, self-esteem. I bless you with infinite joy.